Welcome guys. So in this module we'll be studying more on XPath and full and partial XPaths. So we'll be looking at handling HTML elements such as text box, hyperlinks, submit buttons, radio buttons, checkbox, drop down menus. So this will be a really interesting and an important feature that we're gonna discuss in this chapter. So because mainly these are all the elements that are present in a web page, and we'll be learning how to capture all these elements, how to handle all these elements on a web page. So we'll be handling the JavaScript messages as well. We'll be finding elements and text on a web page. We'll be printing all these links and values from a web page and HTML elements, and then we'll be setting execution speed of RC. So first of all, we'll start with partial and full XPath. We'll really quick go to the gmail.com. We'll open the Firefox and we'll go to gmail.com. So the Firebug is already open. So we'll select the element username text box and we'll see the XPath of this element. So this is the partial XPath of this element. So if you want to see the full XPath of this element, you just need to click on this and just need to click on generate absolute XPath, and then you again inspect this element, click on this element, and it will generate a full XPath for you. So you do not need to copy the complete XPath. You can copy it. So while copying it, you just need to copy it, and when at the time of automating, let's create a new project. So let's create a new Java project first. So we'll write XPath and let's give it a name as XPath test. Click on finish. We'll create a new class and we'll name the class as Gmail test. So first of all, we'll import the Selenium jar file. So we'll go to build path and we'll go to build path and we'll configure the build path. We'll add the jar file first. Right, Selenium new default Selenium, and then we'll import the Selenium and the default Selenium. And over here we need to add the arguments, that is localhost, then the port number 4444, the browser, that is Firefox, and then the URL that we need to hit, that is www.gmail.com. The next step, we'll write selenium.start. We'll run the Selenium server. We'll go to the drive where the Selenium server is. We'll write cd c drive softwares and then jars, then we'll write java hyphen jar then we'll give jar name. So it will start the standalone server. Now we'll write selenium dot open and write this. Let's test it out if it is configured successfully, if it's working fine. So it's running, it has opened the console and it has gone to google.com. Okay, so we'll close it for now. So now we were talking about the XPath. So this is the absolute XPath. So at time when we were writing like selenium dot type, and then we need to enter the XPath of this. So at the time of writing the absolute XPath, we need to mention, to write XPath equal to, and then the XPath, and we need to write backslash before the HTML, and then we need to write the word that we need to type in the username, like selenium. So we'll save it and now we'll run it. So before running it, let me write window maximize. So it will maximize the window and it will bring focus on the current window. So now let's save it and run it again. So now it goes to gmail.com and it has written selenium. So this is the second way of finding XPath. So the first way that you have seen is you generate the partial XPath by just writing this. If I replace the XPath, the current XPath, to only this, and I again run it, so it will still gonna work. So this is the first way that we all usually do. So I prefer it doing this way because this is the shortest way of, we need to mention only the shortest XPath. So, and this is the best way of doing it. So the other way of writing XPath is, we again go to this, and so this is the partial XPath, and you see there is a star wildcard character mentioned over here. So basically this belongs to the input tag. So you see this email, the ID equal to email, it belongs to the input tag. So we can directly write input as well over here, and we can simply copy it and paste it. So we'll save it and we'll again run it. So it will open up the Gmail and it will write selenium. So this is the third way of writing a XPath. Now let me show you the fourth way. So let's open up an IDE, and then we just click on this username and write selenium. So we go to this and we'll export the test case as, let's suppose, test ng remote control. So we'll save it as Gmail test, and now we're gonna open this. There are a lot of files on my desktop, so we'll open it. Okay, let me open it on a notepad plus. So see, so we can also write the XPath as ID. So this ID equal to email. So if I write the XPath as just ID equal to email and I run it, so it will still gonna work. So there are a lot of ways, through which you can find and you can use the XPath of a particular element. It all depends on you. Sometimes happens that if a particular XPath is not working, then you can generate the absolute XPath and you can put that absolute XPath over here and you can use that XPath. So we've already seen the installation of this Firepath and Firebug in the previous videos. If you are not sure about how to configure the Firebug and Firepath, then you can simply visit waytoautomation.com and you can see under the quick links categories, you can find the quick video of how to download Firebug and Firepath. Now same way we're gonna capture the second element. This we're not gonna use this absolute XPath. We're just gonna use the partial XPath. It says password and we'll again write Selenium dot type XPath, let's suppose the password is ABCD, and then we need to click on this sign in button. So this is also from the input tag. So instead of writing star, we can also directly write it as right click. Then I can simply write it as. That's it. Let's save it and let's run it again. So it has opened up the RC window. Let's go to Gmail and yes. So you've seen the execution is really fast. We can slow down the execution speed as well. For that, we can write Selenium dot set speed. Let's say we'll give a delay time of 2 seconds in each transaction. So in each Selenium transaction there will be a delay of 2 seconds. So if we set the speed to 2 seconds, then with each Selenium object there will be a delay of 2 seconds. Let's save it and let's run it again. Let us open Google. So after 2 seconds it will write Selenium, then after 2 seconds it will write password, then after 2 seconds it will click on the sign in button. So you can see there is a delay of 2 seconds in each transaction. if we set the speed of Selenium to 2 seconds. So it's really simple. You can find all these methods in the Java doc. These all methods are available in the Selenium HQ.org website. You can simply go to Selenium HQ.org website, where you can click on the download button and then download tab, and from here you can click on the Java docs. So these are this is the Java doc, and from here you need to click on the Selenium interface. So these are all methods that I've also explained in the previous demo. So these are all the methods. So like currently we have used the set speed method. So let's see, where is the set speed method over here. So there are a lot of methods provided in the current version of Selenium RC. So let's see. Okay, so here is the set speed method. So it set the execution speed. So there will be a delay of the milliseconds that we have provided. Like we have provided the value as 2000. So the value is provided in milliseconds. So 2000 milliseconds is like somewhere around 2 seconds. So then we have also seen Selenium.type, and so the type will set the value of an input field as though you typed it in. And then we have seen the next method, that is Selenium click. So if we find click over here, so clicks on a link, button, checkbox, or a radio button. So for clicking on a checkbox or a radio button, there is the other method as well, that is check. So what check button do? Let's see it now. So let's suppose, let's go to Gmail again. So we'll find the XPath of this checkbox. And then we'll write Selenium dot check, then we'll write the XPath. So we'll run it and see if it checks that checkbox. So it logs on to the gmail.com, enters username, password, sign in, and then it clicks on the check button. So we could have also like use the click method over here, then click will also do the same thing. So then what is the difference between the click method and the check method? So there's time when, there's sometime like this check is already there when the page loads. So by default, when a web page loads, the checkbox is already checked. So if we want that this check should stay over here, and if we have used the click method, then what that click method has done is that it has clicked on this particular element and it has removed the check from over here. That's why we use the method as check, so that whenever a checkbox is checked by default, then this check will remain as it is and it will move to the next execution. Same way there's a method that says Selenium.uncheck. So what this method do is that it will gonna uncheck this element, and by default if the element is unchecked, then it will not gonna touch that element, it will just gonna move to the next execution. So this uncheck and and check will work same for radio button and checkboxes. You can see the same in the Java doc as well. So this check a toggle button, checkbox, and the radio box. So same way, if we look for uncheck, so the uncheck will do uncheck a toggle button, checkbox, or a radio button. So this check and uncheck method will work for both radio button as well as for the checkbox. Same way, there is a other method that is click at. So clicks on a link, button, checkbox that we have already seen. So click at, it also performs the same function. So whereas click only has the one argument and click at has two arguments. So like we have done over here, like selenium.click and then input ID equal to sign in. So we have clicked on the sign in button. We could have also done it in this way. We could have written click at, we could have used this method, and then we can write the other argument is, so we'll see what, and so we'll write the label sign in. So we can use it in this way as well, and it will gonna work. Let's see. So there are times when it's really hard to find a XPath of a submit button or of any other element that you need to click. So this is the second way of finding a XPath. I mean, if you have the label, and so you can simply click on that. So this will simply click on that particular label. So let's run it. Let's see if it works or not. It has opened up Gmail, enter username, password. Yep, it's clicked on the sign in button. So you have seen there are various ways of finding XPath and clicking on an element. So now I'll show you how to extract all the links from the website. There's a method that says get all links. So what this method will gonna do, this method will return the IDs of all the links on the web page. So we'll see how we use it over here. We'll comment it out, this code. And we'll change the website name to, let's say, links.com. So we'll extract all the link IDs from this website, and for that, what we're gonna write, we'll create a string array, and we'll write string links is equal to selenium dot get all links. So we'll get all the links from this website and we'll store it in a link array, and now we're gonna print all these links. For that, we'll write a loop for int I equal to 0, I less than link dot length, then I plus plus, and now we're gonna print this array. We'll write system.out.println and then length, then I. So So we'll save it and we're gonna run it. So let's see. It has gone to the links.com. And let's see the IDE. Sorry, yeah. Let's see the Eclipse, and here are all the link IDs of this web page. So through this method you can extract all the link IDs from a web page. So let's see what we have seen so far. So far we have seen partial and full XPath. We have seen handling HTML elements such as text box, hyperlink, submit button, radio button, checkbox. Now we'll see some example of the drop down menus. So we'll see the example of the drop down list, and for that we'll go to this website, that is Geo Data Source, and we'll visit this world major cities HTML page. So basically what we're gonna do, we'll select a country from the drop down list. Let's select India from the drop down list. So we're gonna select this India from the drop down list, and for that what we're gonna do, we'll copy this URL and we'll open it in the Firefox. And we'll find the XPath of this drop down menu. We'll copy the XPath. Okay. So we'll create a new class. I'm not gonna do everything in a same class. For that, we'll create a new class and let's name it as drop down example. Finish. So I'll copy all these commands from here and I'll change the website name to then I'll give the sub page name over here, then I'll write Selenium dot select, and then I'll give the XPath of the select of this element, and then I'll give the value that I need to select. Like I need to select India from here. So first of all we'll see this command in the Java doc. So what this command actually does. So this command will select an option from a drop down using the option locator. So there are two arguments to this select command, select method. So the first argument is the locator and the second argument is the option that we need to select. So save it and now we're gonna run it. So it has gone to the website on that page, and then go downward so we can see India is selected as a country. So now I want to print the list of, I want to print the entire values from the drop down list. I want all the country values to be printed on my console. For that, what I'm gonna write, I'll close this window and then I'll write. So here again we need to create a string array because we need to store all these values in an array. So we'll create a string array. Let's say values equal to Selenium dot get selected option. So I'll show you this method in Google Doc as well. And then we give the XPath as this, and then again we need to write a loop for int I equal to 0, I is less than values dot length, then I plus plus, and then we need to print these values. For that we'll write system.out.println and we'll give the variable name values. Okay. We'll save it and we'll again run it. So let's see what happens. Let's again go on to geo data source, world major cities, selected India, and now we go back to the Eclipse and we see the list of the drop down list values. All the countries are showing over here. So all the country values are printed here. So this is the way we work with the drop down HTML element. We can select the element value, we can extract all the values from the drop down element. And now we're gonna see this in the Java doc. We're gonna see this function in the Java doc. So get selected option, we'll search for it. Get selected, sorry, selected, I think I'm missing. Okay, it's get select options. Okay. So get select option says gets all option labels in the specified select drop down. So it passes only one argument, that is the XPath. So the XPath of the drop down element. So this is all about the drop down list. So the next thing we're gonna see is if we want to get the title of this page. For that we'll write Selenium dot get title, let me start over here. Okay, so we'll write Selenium dot get title, and when we again run it, so it will gonna print the current the title of the current web page. Let's see. Oh, why it has not printed? Because I have missed to write system.out.println. Let's save it and run it again. see, this is the title. This is the same title of the web page and it's been printed over here. So with the get title method, we can get the title of the current web page. Now we'll see how to read a text from a web page. So we'll again go to this website. Let's suppose I want to read the text country name. So what I'll write, I'll copy this XPath and I'll write Selenium dot get text, then I'll write the XPath. I'm sure you are finding all these things really interesting and you are really curious to perform all these operations by your own. So this is really interesting stuff. So let's run it and see what it prints. Working with Selenium Arts is really interesting. Selected country and it has printed C. So it has printed the label country name. So with the help of get text method, we can print any text from the web page. So what's next? Let's take a scenario. Let's suppose the administrator of this website does some changes on the web page. So let's suppose it moves this country drop down box to somewhere else in the web page. So in that case, what we need to do, we need to first of all find this particular element before clicking it. So for finding any element in the web page, what we write is we need to check whether the element is present on the web page or not, and then we're gonna click it. So we'll write Selenium dot is element present, and then we give the XPath of this element. So the XPath of this element was this, and we'll write it this. So it will gonna return the boolean value. So it will gonna return true or false. So we'll write system.out.println, and now when I run it, so it has logged on to the website, and it has printed all the countries and then printed the label. Then here it has returned the boolean value as true, which means that this element is present. So what if I make some changes to the XPath? If I just do it like this, and if I again run it, so now this time this will gonna search for a different element which XPath is not mentioned, which XPath is not available on the website. So let's see what it's gonna return. See, it returns the value as false because this XPath does not exist on the web page. So this is how we can identify whether the element is present on the web page. So there are a lot of times when when there are bug fixes done on an application, when there are new features added in an application, and developer changes some elements from, like, developer shifted some elements from the current page to the other page. So if we have captured all those XPath with us, if so, with the help of this is element present method, we can identify that what's been changed or what's not been changed. So now the other thing that we're gonna see is that how to handle the JavaScript messages. So let's go to a website, rediff.com, and over here if I click on this sign in, so this is a pop-up window. This is a pop-up window. This is not from Firefox. So this is a JavaScript window. If you click on go, then this is a JavaScript window that's been opened. This has nothing to do with the Firefox browser. So how to handle the JavaScript error messages? Let's see it now. So let me show you. If like, let me open the Firebug first. So if I click on this go button and if I try to find the element of this go button, you see it's not allowing me because it's not a part of this Firefox browser. So it's a JavaScript error message. So now what we'll do, we'll open up an IDE and remove all this first. Now we'll click on the sign in button and then we'll click on the go button. So we'll create a new class and name it as JavaScript handling. Again, copy these components from here. Alright, rediff.com. Remove this from here. Then I'll write selenium dot click and then the XPath. First it will gonna click on the link, that is sign in. So you see, every time I'm using the different way of writing XPath. So there are a lot of ways through which you can find and write the XPath. You'll get used to it when you'll start scripting, when you'll start writing the automation scripts through Selenium. So we have done up till this, and now we're gonna write selenium dot is alert present, and we'll take it in if condition, like if selenium dot is alert present. So then what we're gonna do, it will write selenium dot choose OK on next confirmation. So what it will gonna do is that whenever an alert occurs after clicking on the login button, So it will click on OK. So let's see what it do. So click on the run button, save it, so it will go to reddit.com, click on sign in, click on go, you know, it has already clicked on the JavaScript message. The reason why it's not showing here, the reason is only with the RC. With WebDriver it works fine, so you can see the execution. With RC the execution is not displayed, but it has already done its work. So how we gonna check whether the work is done or not? We'll again go to the Eclipse and we'll write. So it actually worked. I mean, let me show you how it worked, and it was not shown in Selenium RC. So for that I need to write the other command, that is system.out.println, and I'll get this alert message printed dot get alert, and now I'll again run this alert. It will open up a new window. Maximized the reddit.com, clicked on sign in, and if we go to Eclipse, and you can see, please enter your email ID. So this is the same message. So on this RC window it's not showing. If you go to the regular Firefox window and if you click on this, it will show please enter your email ID, and the same stuff it's been printed over here. So you have seen the JavaScript message has been handled through this code, through this script. So Selenium is alert present, and Selenium is alert present is used to validate whether the alert is present or not. Selenium get alert will get the alert message that's been printed on the Java alert, and choose OK on next confirmation will click on the OK button. So you can see all this method in the Java doc as well. So we'll see the get alert. It retrieves the message of a JavaScript alert generated during the previous action, or fail if there were no alerts. So the second one is alert present. We'll see this method as well. We'll find it. Is alert present. So it will verify whether the alert has occurred or not. So the next method was choose OK on next confirmation. So we'll write choose OK on next confirmation. So this will undo the effect of calling choose. We'll click on this method and see. So this method will basically gonna click on OK button on the confirmation, JavaScript confirmation. Sorry, Java alert confirmation. So this is all that we're gonna do in this module. Let's recap that what we have seen so far. So we we have seen handling all these HTML elements, drop down, checkbox, ready button, and we have seen handling JavaScript messages. We have seen how to find element and text on a web page. We have printed all the links and values from a web page on HTML elements. We have printed all values from the drop down elements. We have set the execution speed of Selenium RC. So this is all we're gonna do in this module. So in next module we'll see some more features, some more examples of Selenium RC, and we'll be see how to work with the online web tables. So that's all for now. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.